be able to
Yeah.
revisit it. But go ahead.
So the interview, I'm still in the process. I think it's going well. They
Okay.
still didn't get back to me. They
Ah,
gave me a
okay.
challenge. They said, we'll give you like 2 to 3 days. We want you to build a full stack app, back end, front end, React with the front end, and they want me to basically. They gave me like a JSON file that has like over 10,000 objects,
Okay.
Mhm.
and they wanted me to basically render a graph in the UI, pie chart or whatever, different types of graphs that displays the percentage amount of each type of object based
Okay.
on its dev, based on its like particular dev class.
Okay.
Uh, and they also wanted me to render a graph that shows the number of unique objects amongst these 10,000 something objects.
Okay.
So for me, I was like, okay, this is easy because not easy that I could figure it out. It was easy because I did something like this. That full stack app that you taught us,
Yeah.
that came super clutch. Uh,
Tell me why.
basically, because I just replicated that full stack application, and I
Yep.
was able to easily build a full stack app.
Yeah.
If I never learned that full stack app that you taught us, to be honest, I don't think I would be able to fulfill that agenda that they wanted.
As
No way.
easily
I
as
don't
you
think.
did. I mean, I think that honestly,
Yeah,
I'll be completely frank. I think you would have been able to complete it, but I think that you would have went down a rabbit hole of this integration piece that it doesn't need to be as deep as people make it out to be.
yeah. Like how would I connect the a database, and how would I do the server? How would I
Right.
do the front end? But all of that, I just did that like in 10 minutes because the video that you taught us,
Awesome,
I
man.
got that out the way.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
and
talking
then
about like the basic CRUD app,
the
with
basic,
the.
exactly, the
Okay,
basic
cool.
cut app. Like when you know
Yeah.
how everything connects and interacts with one another.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then after that, it was pretty easy. I think they were like impressed that I was able to do that in 2 days. Like from what they said, like okay, nice. We'll get back to you
Right.
within
Right.
these days about the pricing and all that stuff. The
Okay.
paying. Yeah.
No
That's
problem.
awesome. That's for
Yeah.
Yeah.
the startup.
Yeah. That's for the startup.
Yeah.
So
That's
I did
awesome,
like a
man.
cool pie chart. I used some library called Recharts. It rendered a really nice chart displaying all the unique amounts and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's
And I
awesome.
made a model.
How you doing, brother?
Hey, man. I really want you to join this chat, this discussion that I'm having. Um,
For who?
I I ordinarily don't send invites this way, but I'm gonna send you an invite directly to the server. That way,
I
at least you
appreciate
can
you.
hear
You could just hit me
about.
my DM.
Yeah, I'm about to DM it to you right now.
I, I
I'm about.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Just so that way you can get an idea of what one of these sessions looks like, what they sound like, what's going on right now.
What kind of session is it?
Well, you're gonna see. All you gotta do is accept the invite, join the Discord.
Alright,
Did you just
I'm about
join?
to step there right now. I'm sorry, I'm running VS Code on a couple things on my computer, moving a little slow right now. Hold
Oh,
on, give
you're
me one
good.
second.
Ultimately, all you gotta do is you could just listen for real. Once you join.
They don't know my computer. No, I'm just saying my computer is actually moving slow.
Oh,
I'm a,
like literally. I see.
yeah, like literally moving slow, like literally it's lagging right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, no problem. Yeah, just join when you can. We're gonna be in there till probably about 7 o'clock. All right, man.
Hat.
Sorry
Didn't
about that.
expect me to wait. No. Um, so they wound up hooking me up where they set me up with the mobile app so I could get the alerts and stuff and set my availability so I wasn't like missing meetings or whatever. If it's a startup, it's probably not going to be like that structured, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have high hopes for it, actually, Mohammed. I think that startup is the right place for you, honestly. I recommend startup if you can afford it. That's the whole thing. If you can somehow afford to work at a startup, it's gonna be overall better for you.
What does that
What
mean if you can afford it?
while in the building, it means that people often go into corporate, and when you're in corporate, like you're gonna get paid a lot more, but you're gonna learn a lot less quickly. To be honest,
Yeah.
when you are at a startup, there's a lot more things that you have to do immediately, and you have a lot more freedom to do it. So I wanted I wanted Wael to just join. I don't know why there's only two other people in here. We sometimes we all get confused about where everybody is because sometimes we have a lot of people join and sometimes we don't. Uh, but I wanted Muhammad. I know you know you just went over it, but I wish you could just reiterate one more time your experience because I want to have a really high level discussion about that. Maybe not even a high level, maybe an in-depth discussion about that. Because Wael actually has a lot of experience completing things like leak code, right? And I
Yeah.
want to discuss sort of the other side of things, this side of things, this side where it's more practical.
Yeah.
So tell me about what
Uh,
happened with the opportunity that was presented and then how you executed it again.
yeah. Well, I'm going through a job process where it's a startup company. They want me to do front end, and they said, we're going to give you a challenge and you have to demo it. They gave me about 2 days to do it. They said the challenge is we want you to build a full stack application, front end, back end database, and we're going to give you a JSON file which has over 10,000 objects. Your task is to take this JSON file, store it in a database, have a server, create API calls, and you have to render that the JSON object on the front end with a pie chart or a graphical chart. And basically, this chart, what it has to do, it has to show the percentage of how many times, what is the percentage of each type of object. So, for example, if there's an object called dev class, what is the percentage of the class object? How many times, if it's like 5%, or if it's like 10%, um, in comparison to the entire 10,000 objects. So they wanted me to basically render a few pie charts and graphical charts, showing some statistical data based on that JSON file. So that was the task. For me, it was a relatively simple task because I have I learned from Leon's course how to create a full stack application. So that came super clutch. How to create a full stack application with Spring Boot and H2 database. Basically, what I did, I said, okay, this is going to be easy because I could just do exactly what Leon told us, of creating the full stack app, and then the front end, I'll just use React and render, use a library to show a graphical chart. So yeah, I mean, I was able to do it. And to be honest, I think if I didn't take that that course, if you didn't teach us that CRUD assignment, I don't think I would be able to do it because understanding how a backend and a server and a front end, how they all interact, how they all communicate with one another. I mean, that's super, super, super important. So, yeah, that's.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
I
facts.
again, I want to again, and I want to argue honestly. I think both you and Dean, I think even Castro, I think anybody in here honestly can build a full stack app. You guys could, but I think that when you look at what's out there, when people tell you how to do it, they just conflate it with way too much information when it's actually a very simple process. It's a lot of information. I'm not going to say it's not a lot, but it's actually quite simple, you know. It doesn't have to be as complicated as people make it out to be.
I was just talking to Nastia about that because like once you complete that CRUD app, like most applications are basically CRUD apps. So like he was able to take that basic app from your course and apply it to his assignment. I did the same thing when I was working at that internship, that QR code lab analysis program. It's still the same core. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have a
Um,
model. You still got a repo abstract and that. You've still got a controller for all your endpoints. You still got a service layer for all your business logic. I still had a config layer when they asked me to pre-populate it with a bunch of dummy shit.
Okay.
It's the same.
Yeah, perfect. Castro in the building. I haven't seen you in here in a minute, Castro. Oh, I can't hear anything coming from you right now, though. I hear something, but not anything I can make out. Thank you for that testimony, by the way, Muhammad. That's it's really great information. It's great feedback for me. Um, yeah, if you ever think of some areas where I can improve, I mean, even based on your feedback right there, I think I have some areas where I can improve. Definitely need to expand on, or at least get some content around React and building applications with React. I have some, but not a lot.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah, I
interested
think
in
that,
that.
yeah, that Fred app, that segment is so important because it's what made me understand how, the back end communicates with the server, how it communicates with the front end, and how it all comes together.
Yeah,
So when you understand how it all comes together, then you could really build any, application.
yeah, any application. All right, what are we working on today, though? What are you guys working on? Because I have a lot of stuff. You already know I have a lot of stuff that I could show you right now. I'm more interested.
I've been
in
kicking
figuring
around
out-
an idea for like basically abstracting the whole Markdown resume creation process
I've
using
read
the
that.
Jekyll template.
I think that's
And
cool.
yeah, I would have to.
I don't
I
know
have to
what
double
this
check and see if
acronym is that you
Namecheap
put
has
on
like an
there.
AP.
What is this?
WYSIWYG? It means what you
Yeah.
see is what you get.
And creates a subdomain for a user.
Yeah, so I would have to see if Namecheap has an API that lets me create CNAME records for every like account that's created. And yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm thinking.
The more I'm looking into it, it's looking like quite a bit of work.
Yeah. Hmm.
I have to balance like how much I want to dumb it down. Like
Yep. I was just about to
for
say that.
someone who, like,
For
yeah.
first proof of concept, to be honest, what you could do is you could leverage GitHub's API, create a separate organization, and that organization's like, I don't know, the resume builder organization. And then for every person that creates their resume, it deploys a new repository for that
I
respective
thought
resume.
about that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think ideally I wouldn't want to have any association with GitHub.
Yep. Yep. I get that.
Yeah, and I've got enough like domains I'm sitting on, and I
Okay.
could deploy on my home server.
Okay,
Like,
then yeah.
yeah, I'm not missing out anywhere there. It's still just like trying to figure out the balance. Like for anyone who understands Markdown, this would be like super chill.
No, yeah,
Edit
I don't think
in
this
the
is a difficult
browser in real
task.
time. Yeah.
What about?
Wait, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask. So basically, you trying to use like you trying to use like kind of like an HTML-ish thing to like kind of like fill out your resume, so that way you don't have to like you could just edit it directly. Is that what you're
Oh,
trying
here,
to do?
let me kind of show you what we're working with. So I'm gonna pull up my GitHub repo. Now mine's a little cluttered because I've got like temporary resumes and some other shit in here, but at the core, I have a resume.md, which is my resume in Markdown format. I have an index.html, which I'm using to display the resume.pdf using the Google Docs viewer and an iframe. The purpose
on.
of that is to make sure that
Let's establish what the product is first. Can we see what we're looking at?
yeah. So let me see.
Okay, this is the resume,
finished.
and
Yeah.
this is the resume. It comes from a template that I provided people within the course, and this is one of the implementations of that resume. Dean's thinking. I don't mean to speak over you, Dean, but I want to like get the high level idea out before we get into the
Yeah.
nitty gritty, the file, the source code, all that. Dean's thinking, you know, through the process and watching other people do it, Dean has been one of the most specialized people in this assignment. I'll be honest. Like, of all the people that I've ever given this assignment to, I would say like he's like one of the most knowledgeable people in this assignment with using Markdown to create your resume, and he's helped out tons of students. So I'm assuming that through the process of helping out so many people, he's found this pattern where now he's thinking, what if I can streamline this process where people can have a resume that's like this one, through, and what is it that they're gonna do? What is this gonna? I think that's the question that Wiles asking. That's also part I don't understand. What is the abstraction that you're gonna do that helps people not have to do it? They won't have to write in Markdown. You're saying, or is it a drag and drop type of thing?
That's what I'm trying to figure out still. I was thinking drag and drop or some kind of component where you go line by line, where like even a layman could, end up with a nice looking resume. And I think it would be better than even doing it in some kind of proprietary shit like Microsoft Word, because I think the styling and those is actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, but now I feel like at that point you're getting right back down to rich text. But go ahead.
Yeah, let me see.
I just also wanted to add, like, I feel like your idea is similar to what Overleaf does. If you want to look at what Overleaf does, they do it really good where they have like a markdown text where you can edit your resume. So I
what
feel
is
like
it, Overleaf?
If you look up Overleaf Jake's resume, look it up. Like this is what I do.
How do you spell it? Is that what is that spelling it correctly?
Yeah, it's called no, it's not called Overleaf. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone right now, so the text is really small. It's called Overleaf, like
Overleaf. Okay.
Leaf.
Yeah.
And then look up Jake's resume. Okay, yeah. See latex template.
Okay, for latex.
Okay, so then you pick a template, and it's basically it gives you like their I guess their framework for HTML, something like that, so you can
it says that it's in latex, which is like it's a markup language, but it's very particular. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell me more, because I'm actually really interested in this. I've seen these type of templates before. I didn't know they came from here.
So for example, like you can click on like like this one. I think. And you say use open as a template, or I think it's like you have to make an account essentially. You have to make an account, and then that's gonna let you kind of edit it with the markdown.
I'm moving this off screen for a second.
No, you're good. You're good on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
so
this is
but it's still in
what
latex,
you see
though.
is what you get.
Yeah,
the render's going to be on this side.
Yeah, and then it lets you install it. Like when you're done, you can kind of save it as a copy or whatever. You can have the original, and then you can just edit it straight up from there. So I use like the standard Jake's resume, like every other CS major does. And I guess that parses the best. Also, I was wondering, like, how does that resume, that template, how does that parse? Does that parse like nicely?
I mean, it's parsing from latex. What do you mean? This one here is .tex. And where? Okay, go ahead. Because I got a lot of questions right now, but go ahead.
I was saying when you go to apply for jobs, how does it parse via ATS? That's my whole thing.
Oh, I mean, well, this is you export it as PDF though, right?
Yeah, I export all my resumes as PDFs.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter at that point.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, this is essentially the way it works.
Yeah, this markup is way more complex than Markdown, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, latex is way more complicated than Markdown, though. That's the problem with this. And he's trying to get something simpler than latex, which would be Markdown, but simpler than Markdown, which would be, I don't know where we're at right now. That's his question. Where do I get this simpler than Markdown? But maybe if you see an example of what Markdown looks like, then you could see like it's a very straightforward one-to-one type of expression. Even looking at it this way doesn't even do it justice. So I'm gonna share a screen real quick. All right, let me share a screen. Boom, bop. VS Code. And well, you know what? You could use Liquid Jekyll. Dean, you could use Liquid
to render it locally, or
to templatize whatever it is that you plan on repeating.
Oh, that's the thing you were fucking with a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just say
but
this
I don't know if
some
I want
example.
template so much, like, you know what I mean?
hold on, give me 1 second so we can just get through this demo and then. So, ordinarily somebody will have like a whole resume that's like a rich text, and it'll be like, I don't know. I wish I could just paste the whole rich text resume here, but I can't. But usually we'll say like this is like their name, so I'll say Leon Hunter, and you can see on the right side, you see this over here? This is the browser preview of what Markdown is generating. So Markdown actually is generating HTML, and then the HTML will get rendered in the browser. But it's a super simplification of HTML, because if I go here on line 2, let me zoom in because I know you're on your phone. On line 2, if I type in like 2 hashtags like this, and I'm like, I'm a senior software engineer, like that. This right here is now an H2 tag. So that's a H1 tag, that's a H2 tag. And then if I want to create an unordered list, I could be like contact info. And this could be a nested list within that list, and it'll be like email, phone, LinkedIn, you know. And you could see on the right side, this is literally generating a web page, and it's that simple. He wants something that's even simpler than that, but customizable.
Okay, I see. But this is like pretty bare bones. Like how like
Well, this is
low are you
again
trying to go?
this is rendering to HTML. So that means you can still, for example, I could, if I wanted to, have a
link to a HTML.
to a style.css.
Style sheet.
Oh.
And if I wanted to have a link to a HTML, I don't even have to use the H tag, the anchor tag. I could just go like this. I could be like, this is HTML. It's just that I'm using Markdown. So all HTML still applies. I can still write JavaScript. I can still do all that. But on top of that, I can just write regular Markdown expressions. So if I wanted to have a link to somewhere, like let's say I have a website, or let's say here, right? It's like LinkedIn / my user. And then I could put the full thing here. https:// LinkedIn, whatever it is, .com / Leon Hunter. And you can see over here, see it generates an anchor tag on it. Because remember, this is on the right side, this is basically a browser preview, which means that this has to be generating some HTML somewhere in between.
Okay. I see.
But I feel you on the bare bones. Bare bones is your preference. Dean has his in black and white. I have mine a little bit more colorful, but also not that colorful.
Yeah, I keep mine's pretty like simple and bare bones as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's entry level. Like,
So I'm still wondering, you want to do it like HTML? Like you want to go like low? Like you want to decrease the abstraction? Is that what you're trying to do in terms of like the way it's done?
well, so the power of Markdown is it's extremely portable. Like,
Yeah.
I can edit Markdown on my phone if I need to, and update my resume like no problem. I'm not worrying about fucking up the whole styling like you would in Microsoft Word. I don't have to worry about the person having the correct software to view my shit because it's getting rendered as HTML. And then I usually save it as a PDF and I serve the PDF. The power is like Markdown is extremely portable. You're a software developer, so you should be using it. It seems like a more appropriate solution than creating a resume in a proprietary.
Yeah, you shouldn't
know what I
create.
mean?
Honestly, you really shouldn't create your resume any other way. This is what a resume is supposed to look like. So this is my resume, right? At the base, it's still a Markdown file. However, it has all of the bells and whistles of a normal HTML, because it still has an underscore sass. There's still an underscore layouts which pulls out like default HTML, and then it injects the Markdown into it. But this is a good way to demonstrate to other people that you genuinely understand not only how to code, but this is how I make my resume. I don't do anything outside of code. This is what mine looks like. And you can see again, if I want to see the HTML source, this is what the HTML source looks like. So it is literally generating an HTML somewhere between the markdown and what you see here.
Right. Okay, I see.
And the
This
good
is
thing
cool.
about
This
this
is
is
cool
the
stuff.
good thing about this is that like it gives you a lot more space to work with, right? Whereas not only does it give you more space to work with, as you commit, right? People can see that this is like legit. The more that you do over time, the more weight that your resume has. Like my resume has 206 commits, some of them from over 3 years ago. That's like a very heavily weighted application just to say this is my resume. You know what I mean? Now if I go somewhere
Right.
and I if I apply for a job and they're wondering the legitimacy of the resume or how in depth it's been, they can go directly here and they'll see this guy is, he develops everything. And remember, I was telling you this while on the phone. I was saying like, everything that I do goes on GitHub. Everything that I do goes on GitHub because if I'm producing something, I don't want to not get credit for the thing that I'm producing. I don't want to just
Right.
send somebody a file. I want everything to be tied back to me.
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely started cleaning up some of my projects so I could put them up on my GitHub because my readmes look terrible.
And
'Cause
the
I was just
readmes
doing
are
them
and the
for
readmes are
me.
written in Markdown.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the developer language to communicate documentation is supposed to be Markdown.
Right.
And every repository should have a README. And then again, like you can deploy these like this for free. It doesn't cost you any
Yeah. Yeah.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have a C# game on my resume and like it's a link that it's a what is it? It's like JavaScript thing. Remember Flash Player was like JavaScript thing. I forget what it was, but like you can play it on the web.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I have that. So like on my resume. So if you click my link, like the link on it, it'll take you straight to the game.
Okay. Did you deploy it on GitHub
Yeah.
Pages? That's how it happened. Is that what you're saying?
Nah. So basically, what it is, all right. So C# has a Unity. I don't know if you know what Unity is. I
Yeah.
did it on Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did it on Unity, and then what's it called? And you can and then you can like download different versions of it. So like
Yeah.
I downloaded the JavaScript version, and you
Okay.
can put it up on the web. And I
Fire.
put it up on I forgot what website it was, but it lets you put up like a certain like file size, and then you can like anybody who has a link can play it.
Fire. 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 You got to tell me more about it cuz I want to know more about it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm
But it's a
interested because
cool,
I'm
yeah.
thinking something like that. You could maybe even you could probably embed the game itself inside of a page. I'm assuming, right?
It's
Inside of
essentially
a web
embedded
page.
inside of a page.
So
Yeah,
then you could build your
Yeah.
resume around that.
Yeah, Unity, it's probably going to be like WebGML, but yeah, I mean that's how we have
WebGML.
our game
Yeah,
deployed.
I think it is, I think that's what it is. I think it's WebGL or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize
don't
that
know.
you could write it in C# and export it to WebGL. I should have assumed that.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
no,
You can
Unity
do that,
uses
yeah.
C# strictly, and then
Um,
when you build it, you can, embed it as a WebGL.
And I don't know what C# does. Maybe they translate it into JavaScript. I don't know what happens under the hood, so I can't tell you. But like all I know is that I just I have a .C# version and I have a .js version of my game. So like you can install it on your server on your
Mhm.
PC. If you can't, you can play it online.
Fire.
Yeah. So it's a cool little thing.
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Yeah.
Nez, what have you been working on?
Same project. I've
Same
been
project?
converting this stuff- Yeah, just Python stuff into a Java library. But I got some questions if nobody got some questions. I got some basic.
Hold on, because your question's about to send us down the deepest of rabbit holes. Give us 1 second.
Yeah, these are like Java 101. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay, yeah, we got that then. What's up?
Strings and collectors and stuff.
I can barely hear you though. What'd you say?
You hear me now?
No.
You sound kind of far away.
Alright. Oh, hold on. I did rewire my mic. Which
Yeah, it sounds like it's still coming through the same audio.
Is it getting better or not?
Nah, the
You
same
might
mic.
be
The
on
same
wrong
mic is
device,
picking it up.
like-
It's still the same mic. I can tell. You got some sort of ghost mic next to you.
Nah, it's the feds, bro. The feds always want to know what I got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How about this? Wait, hold on. How about now?
Nah, it's still the same mic. Hold on. While you figure that out, Castro, you got your mic figured out? Okay.
And 700T, 700.
Here we go. Go ahead. How about this?
Say again.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had my headset on, and for some reason the mic is just kind of, I don't even know.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking, what have you been working on, man?
Me, no, I just been, I haven't been coding in a while, which is
Okay.
doing stuff, remodeling kitchen and doing stuff at the home and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of
You
other
still
stuff.
driving?
Yes, I'm still driving.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
all right.
it's hard to have any free time doing that.
Is what?
I was saying it's hard to have any free time driving.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been managing my schedule's getting better, so.
Yeah.
That's good. Leverage AI as much as you need to compensate for any time. You know what I mean? No, seriously. Like, you're on the road. I can't tell you. Like, this morning, I barely had enough time to develop an application. So I came up with this real quick proof of concept so I could just get the idea out and pushed it onto a develop branch and then walked away. It took me like 10 minutes, literally. Something that really should take me about an hour and a half, which I will go back and spend an hour and a half on it. But, just get that proof of concept out real quick, even if it's
I mean,
dirty.
I haven't been developing, but I've still been getting, learning more about the fundamentals, like the operating system.
Okay.
Just things that I really didn't look into before. So I've been, learning more about, like I said, the fundamentals. And when I have time, and I actually do use GPT often. So
Good. All right, Nez, what's the problem? Let's see.
Hold on, let me close this, John, because I don't have my changes. I'm just
Okay.
pushing up the changes right now. I gotta really cancel out that service or look into it because now I'm getting a lot of I don't know exactly how to say it. Like if I load up this project on one machine and then the other machine, but I've been making changes on the left, I would expect both machines to have this both changes since of the cloud solution I have.
Yeah.
That's not really working all the way. So now I'm actually having to push these incremental changes to make sure everything is out. Just pull these down. All right, here we go.
Yep.
All right, so there's two things I don't like. Let's start right here. All right, so maybe I'll just explain the goal, and then I'll let you read this. So I need a map. The key, preferably, is integers from 0 to 26 to 27, and the value is the alphabet letter that would match.
Okay,
So
I don't
A
think
would
that's
be
what it
one.
looks like, but go ahead.
Yeah. A
'Cause
would be 1, B would be 2, blah blah blah, and 0 would
Yeah.
be a period.
Yeah. Oh, C minus little a on 30. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Gotcha. C minus
Yeah.
little a plus 1.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm just like, is there? Yeah. So you can see my hand. My comment.
Why? Not easily readable? I thought it was. I caught on to it. I just had to read it for a second, and then I was like, because I was like, how are you accounting for the base value of a? And then I just saw right there, minus a plus 1. How would you prefer to read it? Maybe like.
Something more human readable. That's not really human readable. That requires some experience to know what's going on there. But I can
Yeah, yeah.
slide past that.
Okay, go
That's
ahead.
not the
Yeah.
worst name. Then I reversed this drawing here. Don't ask me why, but I just reversed it there.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so
Sure.
what do I like? What is it that I didn't like? I think it was somewhere. Oh no, that was it. As far as like a Java question, that was pretty much it. The rest are math questions.
Okay. Oof. That you're the math person, so
Yeah. Like here, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Let me just run this for you really quick.
what math are
I,
we talking about even first?
linear algebra.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta run this. Where's my big plus button?
Wael is a fresh CS grad, so he probably just got done linear algebra actually.
Oh wow, my boy. What's going on?
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. Let me even get this on to run. It's acting retarded.
I spoke to Jose. He said that he was gonna start coming back in. I don't know what happened. And Erica and Franco, uh, they they said they were, well, at least Erica messaged and I thought she was gonna start coming back in, but it's all right. I just missed my
Yeah,
folk.
she was on fire for a while.
Yeah, she was on fire. She was on fire.
Any idea why my little play button isn't here next to my
Well, I don't know what's going on with the project structure, honestly. Can you, your file explorer, can you like, okay, here we go. And it's
What you want to
still that weird like Kotlin thing that's going on.
Yeah.
What you want to see?
I don't know really how to run a Kotlin project, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think that has any weight here.
Well, okay, how about this? If that's the case, then
What's
right click the
interesting?
palm. Right click the palm. And go to all the way at the bottom. Last button. There we go. And okay. I have faith that it'll appear now, right? It doesn't work
I
like
don't
that?
like this anymore. But it doesn't work like that. I can hit something in Maven now. Reload the project or whatnot.
Ordinarily, once you add it as the Maven project, the main application will be recognized. But it looks, I don't know, I really don't know like the project structure for Kotlin projects.
Oh no, I can't do this yet. That's why I can't do this yet. I can't do this yet because I have to change my palm, or it's gonna load some other weird. It's not a Kotlin project. Why do you keep saying Kotlin project?
Cause it's
Because
got the
the
drop,
JDK is reading it like it's a Kotlin project.
yeah, it's reading it like a Kotlin project.
I gotta change this up so that it can. I don't feel like doing that now. I'm just cheat really quick. We can cheat. Cheating's okay. Boom. Alrighty, and then this needs to be reloaded. Check the artifact. What is it? Machine learning playground? Yeah, we'll just use this. Throw this in here.
What have you been working on? I'm still watching you too, Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What has everybody been working on? I've been working on some stuff.
Yeah, I'm still kicking around that idea I was talking about. I got Super
guess
high level design doc.
Okay.
I guess I should something. Um. Oh, my fault. You was gonna say something?
No, I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Oh yeah. So I've been trying to I wanted to get like a C++ project on my resume, and cause I'm really not that great at C++. Like I have the bare bones basics. But I want to get better at like multi-threading and single threading and stuff like that.
Where do you live?
I live in New York.
What jobs you trying to apply to?
Not I feel like not no web dev jobs. I'm more of a back end uh like Java. I would love to do Java because that's like the thing what's it called? That's the thing kind of learn in college and stuff like that. But I'm looking for more like not I'm not really like a big JavaScript React person, even though like a lot of my experience is in that. But like I want to like do stuff more with like C++, C Sharp, Java, stuff like that. So in terms of projects, I wanted to work on like what's it called, like a trading algorithm or something like that. Um Something in a finance space. I was thinking about doing it something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I got a book for you. It's called Heard on the Street by Timothy Crack. If you're looking for more quant type stuff.
No, I'm not getting into quant. Let's be real.
I'm just
I'm
trying
not
to
getting
I'm
into
just
quant.
trying to think about because ordinarily my objective ordinarily is to get people jobs. That's my objective is to get people into
I was
the
thinking the
industry.
same thing
Right. So
for
like
jobs because I
yeah,
keep hearing get good at one language.
right. So I'm trying to think about if Java is what you've done and what you got experience with, you got to double down on Java. You don't have to. It just would be probably wisest if you double down on Java. But Java, if you're gonna go into Java, Java is a web dev language. You're gonna be a web dev if you go into Java.
But isn't like but you can do enterprise things, right?
Yeah, of course you could do enterprise things.
Right. Like if you work at if you work at like JP
Java,
Morgan,
firstly, Java is the enterprise language. That's why
Right.
people get so mad at it because they're like, why do I have to write an object? Why do I have to create a class just so I can create a main method, just so I can reference the system, just so I can reference the outstream, just so I can reference the print method, just so I can print hello world. It's like, because it's the enterprise language, baby. There's configuration levels to this. Like, this is the enterprise language. If you're ready to scale something to the nth degree, this is what everybody's using. This is what JP Morgan Chase is using. This is what Netflix is using. Everybody's using some derivation of Java because it scales really well. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna end up pursuing or going into probably the web development space. If you go more into like the data side of things, you'd probably be with like Python. And then there's occasions like if you see what Nez is doing right now, well, you might see some machine learning stuff. But let's be real, most of the machine learning stuff is happening in Python and MATLAB. I mean,
right.
it's not
I
taking.
know Python too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I still recommend Java. I just feel like Java is going to make you the most versatile. Nez started out in Java, and he took a long retirement after being very, very proficient deep into nested generics type of business and a lot of multi-threading, and then completely, diverted and went into Python. But I'd still highly recommend getting really good at Java. Do you have what's your GitHub?
I agree. I can send you a link to my GitHub, but it's like there's like
Why?
it's very
Why?
I'm gonna be honest. Like when I just throw the links on, it's like and people just go see it. There's really no reason. I was like, what's the reason for me to have my GitHub? And plus, like when I do interviews, I literally have nobody ask me about what's on my GitHub.
But that's because
I've
you're not
never had
directing them
that.
to your GitHub. That's why.
Yeah. That's a you problem.
Yup.
I don't know. Every time everybody just asked me, you were interned here. What did you do here? What was your role?
Well, that's the
I'm like,
thing,
yeah,
because you're not directing them to
yeah,
your
yeah,
work.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't direct them to the work. That's the large issue. And most of the time, interviewers don't expect you to even have that ability, so they're not gonna waste their time asking, because then it might put you on the fence. Like, oh man, now I gotta tell them my GitHub link, and then I feel self conscious about my GitHub, and you know what I mean. So they're not even gonna bother. They're just gonna be like, tell me what you did. All right, go ahead. You tell me. And then you're supposed to lead them, you know what I mean, and be like, look, I mean, I got a whole thing, look, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah, if you got like a project
sure
you're
what
passionate about, you should be bringing it up. Like, you can't get me to shut the fuck up in an interview about my projects. Like, it's one of the first things I
Facts.
bring up. And I feel like if you start talking about your project, you're not going to get asked a whole bunch of dummy shit.
Yeah, they're gonna bypass all that other data structures, algorithms type questions. They're gonna bypass all that shit. They're gonna be like, okay, we'll just use you for the things that we clearly see that you already know.
I'll say one thing about that. A lot of the times it'll be like the first thing you do is DS and algos, and then
Yeah.
they'll do the
Of course.
behavioral. So I don't even got, you know what I'm saying? They're just like I'll give you an example, right? Even Amazon and Bloomberg actually, like the first thing that they did was they just gave me a LeetCode question.
Well,
Like,
that's why I asked you. I said, where are you trying to work?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to work in like in tech. Yeah, but
I
like,
feel
I
you in
don't
tech,
have,
but like
yeah.
that's but you already know that the DS and algos, right? We already had the conversation
Yeah.
about that. Like that's
Yeah.
iterations upon iterations upon iterations. It's a very competitive space. You got to be ready, you got ready to compete. And I can't help you out with much more than saying practice, 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 practice.
Right.
Learn
Right.
the different methodologies and move up in rank. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
with every time you move up in the rank, you'll start seeing like different patterns that are applicable across different problems. But
Absolutely.
right, that's a different space, and it's highly competitive, and I can't really recommend anything other than just sheer grit to get you through it. The other
Right.
side of it is this side here where, Dean and Muhammad and there's many other people in this Discord have, they just be like, hey, I know how to develop stuff, and I'm not just making a claim to you over the phone. Like, look, it's deployed here. You can interact with the application. And then rather than them asking them DS and algo questions at all, if that's the case and that's the way the interview is set up, if they do have the ability to get in front of somebody, then they'll just ask them about the application. It's just sheerly about the application at that point. And that's why I'm asking where you're trying to work at, because
Yeah, because that's not my experience. Like people, I don't like, not to say that, you know what I'm saying, like you're wrong or the things that you know what I'm saying, but like, well, my experience, like I just applied to like tech companies. I'm applying to banks like JP Morgan. I'm applying to like all these.
So
these
Dean
places.
just got an opportunity with JP Morgan Chase. I would say probably largely due to the things that I'm talking about right now. Dean, correct me if I'm wrong.
On specifically what?
With Etsy, right?
Yeah, I just got my offer, and I did bring up my application. Like I said, it was the first thing I mentioned to both of the guys. I talked about that for a little bit. They still had a checklist of some shit they had to ask me. Fundamentals. I think it's kind of RNG, which things they're going to ask you, but stuff like collections. Some stuff I started talking about just on my own and getting some brownie points because he was talking about something and I was like, oh, that kind of reminds me of like normalized versus non-normalized database, and he's like, oh, that's like a bonus question, can you tell me more? And I went into it, but I think the projects were a big thing.
I mean, yeah, just think about it from your perspective. While if you did happen to have to interview somebody, obviously, like you said, you're gonna filter out your first bunch with your DS and algos, right?
Right.
But then that second bunch, what are you gonna do? Because
I
I said, it's highly competitive that first round, right?
Right.
And then that second round, what do you think it's gonna be? How are you gonna get your one up on them? You just gonna argue you're better at DS and algos than the person that tied with you?
No, you gotta show them that you know more.
Right. But how? Because everything you say is a claim until proven.
That's true. That is true. I think a lot of places also ask trivia too. I've had Please ask.
Wait, wait. I
Like,
think we were looking for an answer to that question. How do you pronounce your name? YL? YL?
wow, yeah, you guys are doing a
Word.
great job pronouncing it, by the way. I want to say
Word.
that.
But his
Word.
question was how. So
Word.
you said prove it to him. So he said how though. How are you gonna do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you just gotta show them your work. That's all it really is. Show them the knowledge.
How would you do that?
You gotta have your stuff. You gotta have your stuff up.
Yeah.
You gotta show it to them.
Yeah, you
Right,
gotta have your
right.
GitHub together, man.
Mhm.
Because the GitHub, just because you got projects up there, that don't even really mean shit. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people that have, literally, not even joking, 70 projects. I open up each and every one of them and says one commit. You know.
Yeah, cause you know what it is. I tell you, like what my friends do, they hate doing projects. So what they'll do is that they'll have Python scripts run, so it'll make it look like they're doing commits, but really, like it'll show on their thing, oh, they're committing stuff every day, but in reality, they really not doing nothing. You know what I mean? They're just
That's why I gotta have something deployed.
they're just trolling. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Just
that's,
to show, oh,
We're
I'm
gonna
doing
figure that
something.
out though. When you come sit in front of the table, we're gonna figure that out immediately.
I mean, yeah, that'd probably that's an easy thing to probably see, because the big thing is like what yeah, like Dean said, is where is it deployed and what's happening, what are the changes on the deployment, because that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the whole part of the project, is like people want to see a goddamn deployment. People won't even ask you about the fucking repository if they see the deployment. You know what I mean? But the repository is
Yeah.
there, you know, as your backup if you really need to pull out some code, and then you know after that, then they talk about the other stuff, the trivia, but that there's like layers of bypassing other layers within the interview. It's like if you have the deployment and you have the application up and they're asking you questions about it, you've already bypassed the whole showing them a GitHub repository. If you have the GitHub repository up
right.
and you're showing them that, then you've already bypassed the whole trivia of how to use these data structure and algorithms.
Right. Right. Listen, I think that DS. Trust me, yeah. I'm probably more anti LeetCode than you guys are. Like I
Really?
hate LeetCode. Bro, I hate it, bro. Feel me? But it's a necessary evil because
Oh, for
bro,
sure.
all these interviews are asking me like, bro, like. I'm like, bro, I've never. I'll tell you, I really have two starters. I've never used a linked list in my life.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah.
I've never used a linked list.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never had to reverse a string. I've never had to do DFS on anything. So like, I'm like, bro, I'm like, bro. Sometimes I'm doing. I'm like, bro, I'm just sitting here wasting my time, but it's a necessary evil. You feel me? And everywhere, and you know, so crazy. It's like when I interview and I know I did bad on LeetCode question or I didn't give the right time complexity. I know I'm cooked. It's over. I'm not getting that next round.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but you know what else?
yeah.
I feel like you got to cheat too.
How so?
Like you got full on cheat. What you mean? Like let's say it's me versus you in these LeetCode problems, and I managed to use ChatGPT, and trust me, there are ways to do it. And I'm like, nah, you can't do that. Oh, trust me, we have our we definitely have our ways in here, right?
But
And
I know the ways. I know the ways.
okay, word. Then you know.
I'd be scared. You know what it is, bro? Cause one time it was like for Amazon or something like that. The dude, he was like, "Yo, can you share your screen with me?" So I was like, "Damn!" So I can't even have like my LeetCode on the other screen because my eyes gonna be darting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For me. And I'm like, "Damn!"
But you know
I
they
don't
got
want him
tools
to,
for
like,
that
be like,
too.
"Yo,
But word.
if you want to put me on, you can put me. Listen, I got no problems getting shit the wrong way.
I mean, the degrees that you could go with are really endless. You know, like they have tools that correct your eyes to always look at the center of the camera. You know.
Listen, man, if you would have showed me that, I would love it. For the opportunity to see here, we could do that. Please show me.
I don't know if that's the route that I feel like going, because like it's gonna require some R&D for me as well. But like I know of these tools, I know for sure. I don't think it would take us that much time to integrate them. But
If you give me some links, I'll probably look it up. I didn't even know you could do that. I'll probably
okay,
look it
word.
up.
Hold on real quick. Let me see real quick.
It's been a
Not
while
to
since
take
I
too
looked
much
into
above
them.
your-
Apple
I know-
has one.
Yeah,
There's,
I know this y'all programming time and y'all doing. I don't want to like come
Nah,
in and like.
this is
Now
time.
it's my stuff.
This the time we talk about this. This is exactly about it. Hold on real quick. Dean, do you remember what it's called? Veed, is
are you
it?
looking for the iOS specific one or like a more generic one?
The one that corrects your eyes so that it's always looking at the camera. Is
yeah,
it
well,
Veed?
there's a proprietary one for yeah, it looks like Veed. Veed looks like
Hold on.
well, if you go off SEO, Veed is the number one,
Okay.
but I know there was like a proprietary one
I
for
want an open
Apple.
source one. That'd be better.
Yeah, naturally, but it also depends on other stuff because like if you're going to be doing it in an environment like are you
That's
going to be using a
virtualized.
VM?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, damn man.
Yeah.
See, I always
know
I
I
would
looked
I
into
used to
this
always
deep
tell my
before.
yeah, I know. I always tell my students that your biggest competition is the cheaters ultimately. Because
It really is.
once you get past that first filtration, like I said, the second part is just like, you know, if you got some projects up, you just talk about your projects. But that first step
And you know-
is pretty difficult. I would say this, like, I made a mistake recently. I did an online interview also, and I didn't cheat at all. I just raw dogged it, and I did all right, but obviously not well enough to move on. And I knew that I wasn't gonna do well enough about 30 minutes when I was about 30 minutes left. What I should have done with those last 30 minutes is I should have just cheated my ass off, because then at least if I would have got caught cheating, I wouldn't have got in, and if I didn't get caught cheating, I would have got in. And if they asked me later on, hey, you got in, but like looked like you cheated, I'd be like, yeah, I did, but if you watch the first 90 minutes, like I was really snapping.
So it didn't really happen at the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah, I'm a definitely, bro.
Like that's
yo,
that's
you
like
know
my
what it is?
actual plan. Like next time, I'm not even kidding.
Listen, I respect it. Listen, I'm not a. For me, I respect. If I could cheat, I would have been. I already cheated on the online assessments. I already cheated on the hacker ranks.
Yeah.
Bro, they're asking leak code. They're asking leak code tagged hard. Like even for JP, I'm gonna tell you guys. I applied to New Grad 2023. Bro, they asked me some wicked graph question. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to do this for an OA for a new grad because they're not choosing the questions. They
When
I
you,
don't-
and
I don't
you
know
when
who
you say
chooses the
graph,
questions.
you're talking about combinatorics graph. That's what you're talking about? Like graph theory, like graph theory graph, like not like
yeah.
like trees and graphs graph.
Yeah, trees and graphs. So they asked me, I don't know if you're familiar with the Dexter's algorithm. That's how you solve
Yeah.
that question.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know. Yeah, no, I didn't know at that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
You said
and back
Dijkstra's?
then, yeah, Dexter's, yeah. And back then,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and back then GPT was trash, so it wasn't gonna even do that question for you.
Yeah.
For me, it failed like every test case. I was like, all right, bro. For me,
Yeah.
but now it's a
Alright, yeah.
different time.
Hey, Leon, could you look at this issue real quick now?
I can. Let me see.
All right, bet.
I'm looking now.
All right, so I'm gonna. You want to see the data set real quick? It's just
Yeah.
a list of words.
Yeah.
If I can find the data set, bro, that'd be great. Hold on. This is a big ass file full of names.
Okay.
I stopped this one on the first iteration here, so we just got this first name, Emma. Right, so the goal is each of these letters in this name is mapped to a number in the alphabet, right?
Yep.
And so the goal is to have this context array. In Python, it uses lists. It's really easy, but now we got to come back over to Java, right? And
Yeah.
what I need to do is I need to add a new list of the three letter embeddings for every three letters, right? So the first list should be 000 because there's nothing,
Yeah.
and then the next one should be 005.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then after that should be 0513 for 13 is M. And then 51313 and then 1351 all the way up. So let me see. I think I have this like on a note. Right? Okay, who's doing this for me?
The font is actually really small. I mean, I'm working with it, but it's pretty small.
And then I'll put it back in here then. And I'll just open up notes. Can you see this better?
Yeah. Can you zoom in? Try double tap real quick and type in wheel when you do the actions. Yeah, wheel, and then click that where you see the second option. Turn it on, and then now zoom with your pinch, or if you have a mouse with the middle scroll.
Yeah,
I have a
control,
magic mouse.
command, scroll.
Is it like command zoom? Yeah, command.
Yeah,
zoom.
yeah.
Alrighty, is that better?
Yeah.
So this is the starting context, and this should be the starting context for everything. Use three letters to predict the next letter, kind of thing, right? So this one should return E, right?
Yep.
We know that E is what, the fifth letter in the alphabet.
Yep.
All right, just for now, and then after that it should be 0, 0, which should return 13 or M. It should have 0, 5, 13, 5, 13, 13, so on and so forth. You see the pattern here?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what is it that I'm looking at? What would you call this if this was a piece of art? What is it that I'm looking at right now?
So if I just look at the lists themselves,
Like, give this whole thing that I'm looking at one name. What is this?
the whole notepad here.
1 to
thing?
6. Yeah, 1 to 6. What is this an example of?
Ew. I don't know.
What
Nah,
is
I don't
1?
know.
What is 1? It's not just a word. This is we're doing something specific with the word. What is it that we're deriving from it?
I don't know. What are we deriving from the word?
That's what I'm asking you. You just derived this whole 5 lines. I'm asking you what is the derivation. I don't know what it is.
Oh, how do I get from 1? How do I get from 2 to 3?
Not like how, but I'm asking what is it? Like, what's the name of it? Because I want to be able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
This is Nez's project.
damn it. All right, go ahead. Because I don't know what's happening here,
You know,
bro.
I know what you're asking. I just don't know how to say it. If
Okay.
anybody knows, so please help me out.
I'm thinking like
Is it word serialization? Is what it appears to be to me, but that's the only thing that I got. Like the only thing I could relate this to is the serialization of a word to n number of permutations. Is it, Nez? N number where n is dependent on the number of characters in the word. Not that it's equal
No.
to the number of characters in the word, but that it's dependent on. Meaning there'd be more permutations if the word is longer.
All right, so look, let's do this then. I got you. Given a word and its block size, in this example, we'll say the block size is 3. I want to have my simple neural net, my little program here, predict, or we'll keep it very simple. I want it to provide me another letter based off the context that it has at the given point, at a given iteration.
Okay.
So this would be the first iteration or the 0th iteration.
Okay.
So on and so forth. It should definitely be the 0th iteration.
Lines 2 through 6 are considered matrices for
Iteration.
context.
Yes, let's talk about it in the sense of matrices, because then that really helps. But if we need to talk about them in a sense of list, then that's fine.
Well, yeah, as I was saying, they're matrices for context, right? Like they represent some form of context. Because that's the only word that I got from you. I don't know these words. I don't know what to call them.
would you like maybe
These are
sequential
context-
prediction?
These are context vectors.
Context vectors.
Yeah, context vectors.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Sliding stuff.
Yeah. The reason that that's so important is because I'm thinking, like, honestly, as a Java developer, I have to advise that you create a context vector class or a context vectors plural class, which takes an argument of a word singular. Create a disgusting class.
Alrighty.
Context
We can do that.
vectors takes an argument of a word, so it'd be like new context vectors of Emma.
Can you go into depth what the purpose of a context vector is? Cause like Like, what do you?
But plural on
No,
line
yeah.
9, plural is key that you keep it plural because a context vectors are produced as a result of a word. There is many to one of them. Many context vectors to one word. My bad. Go ahead. Andrew in the building. Welcome, Andrew.
Hey, apologies, I'm late and also from phone. My PC's out of commission at the moment.
Yep,
Oh,
no
damn.
problem.
Rip.
That sucks. But what were you saying,
let me-
Nez? What he said? Can you go into depth about what is a context vector?
No, I asked.
Sure. Let's look at this. Okay, cool. So a context vector, right,
It's
is
super
a
super
line.
tiny though.
Oh,
Command plus on it though.
okay. Yeah, so the context vectors are lines, if you will. We can think of them as lines. I'm going to move this out the way because I don't think this is of importance to you. Can I do that? All right, I'm going to do that. Take that as an implicit yes. All right, so these lines here represent the context that our neural net, when we get finished with it, our little AI, will have at its disposal to use as resource or context, if we can use the word again without confusing ourselves, for the expected output that we want, right? Or what we call its guess or its sample for the other statisticians in here. So the context vector here, if I wanted my neural net to predict or create the name or the word Emma, right? In the beginning, I give it nothing. And I tell it, well, if you're given nothing, then you should definitely come up with an E, right? And so what the context vectors are is the amount, some visual representation of space that the machine has to include extra knowledge, if you will. Now that's really, really bloated, but a context vector is basically a line, and that line has information in it, and that information is what the neural net will be able to use to predict its output.
Fuck.
Good?
So follow-up question. So when it says 0, so the array is 0, 0, 0, so that means nothing, and then it's 0, 0, 5. So at the end of 5, what does that mean?
Yeah, okay, so here's another piece. Each letter is mapped to a integer in the alphabet. I'm gonna put this on the next line. Each letter is mapped to an integer in the alphabet, 0 being the period. Right? So let's take a look at this alphabet. I can print this alphabet for you. I'll just print this alphabet up here when I first created. Open.
Yo, this is some crazy wizard math.
Integer chart alphabet and just break here.
The fact that this even is a thing is just crazy.
Just out tab. Oh, never mind.
System not exit. I don't want it to keep reading. I just wanted to stop after the alphabet. Okay, so here's the alphabet that we have.
That was slick. Go ahead.
Right, and we created that.
I don't usually see people use the system that exit. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's that Python baby.
Yeah, word that definitely is. You could also say return, but go ahead. Oh wait, no, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. No, I couldn't. You couldn't. You couldn't.
Everybody else knew.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up because I want you to go because I'm interested in this. Go ahead. You're killing it.
Good. Okay, there's the alphabet YL. Can you see it here?
Yeah, I see it at the bottom.
Wow. Okay, cool. So that's
the
where
output.
we're getting. That's where I'm using these numbers instead of letters because these machines can work on numbers a lot faster than anything else. They can do math way faster than we can do everything else. So if we can express it in math, we're good to go.
Oh, okay, I see. So why not represent it just ASCII values? Why not do that as an alternative? to this?
Because I don't need the full set of all ASCII. So help me understand. What do you mean represent them as ASCII values?
Because like a computer, it doesn't have A, but it knows like the ASCII. It's like some
So
code for it.
look on line 53 real quick on the left side, if you will, YL. He is leveraging ASCII to do his job. You can see even in the comment. Close it so he can see the full comment on line 53 real quick, please.
Yeah, it should say like, A is ASCII 97 or something.
And can you zoom in
okay,
because it's
that is
tiny?
bad.
I can barely see anything there. Like the
I'm
font on the
zoomed
right
in
is
on the phone.
okay.
Yeah, I see. Oh, string dot value of char in value. Okay, I see. A +1. Okay. And this is not me like critiquing you because I don't know nothing
No,
about it.
it's
I was
okay.
just wondering why. For
If
me,
anybody gets offended because you asked them a question, stop listening to that person immediately.
Facts. We all completely open to these types of questions, definitely.
because some people like they take their work very personally. So I'm like, bro, like
Yeah.
relax. I'm just asking.
Stop talking to them immediately. Immediately.
Facts.
I didn't even know people did machine learning stuff in Java because I'm like, bro.
Well, he's
thought it
converting
was
his
all
Python
Python.
project from he's converting his project from Python to Java. But yeah, you could definitely
Oh.
still do it in Java, but that's why I was like, let's be real, most of it's going to take place in Python. For example, even
Right.
his project was in Python before it became Java.
Mm.
Well, there's
I think-
Python, but I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yeah.
What do you say,
There's what?
Jython?
Jython, we don't need to talk about that though.
All right, we won't.
I don't even want to open up that bag of.
It's really cool. You should take a look inside, but we won't. Yeah. So, all right, boom. That's how we get. So, are you caught up to how we get from the first iteration to the fifth iteration? Or
Yeah,
to
I
the
get
sixth
it.
iteration? All right,
Yeah.
cool. So now we can go back to the math part. Here I have prepared drink. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna move this out the way now. And then
Man, this is a monolithic application though, Nez. This is so unlike you. This is so
Yeah,
unlike
well,
you. I know you're transitioning back into Java slowly, but it's just so unlike the Nez that I know.
Baby steps, but hold on. My sister's calling me. Can I get like 20 seconds?
Yeah, word.
Yo, sis.
I know Java is a lot to jump back into.
Bro, look at line 50, 58.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on real quick.
All right, I'm back.
I can't see it. Hold on.
58 is where you got a map, type integer
Hey,
string.
you see how
Hold
many
on.
calls we made? 2 stream, 2 collect, like.
I gotta
Yeah.
okay, let's see. Yeah, what about it though?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, I'm saying that's probably why people don't want to do it in Java because you gotta do
Yeah, because it's object oriented. You know what I mean? Like it's very
Yeah.
object oriented.
That's not bad.
that. Python is
for
object
one
oriented too, but
unlock the
I don't
line.
know.
Python has the potential to be object oriented, but it isn't necessarily object oriented. It doesn't necessarily abide by object oriented principles. For example, if I need to get the integer value of a double, right? Then like I'll say int of that double.
Right.
Whereas in Java, I would say if it's an integer, I would say that integer dot to double, yeah. Because that's an object-oriented way to express. You know what I mean? It's like I am an object
Right.
and I am converting myself to this other type. But if I wrap it in a whole nother method that doesn't even come from an object, it's just a function, actually, not even a method, it's just a function, then it's like you're already violating the principle. Because who's invoking it? Who's invoking int? Int is a function,
Right.
and who's invoking it? I don't know. str is a function. Who's invoking it? I don't know. Print is a function. Who's invoking it? I don't know. It violates a lot of object-oriented principles.
Right.
Right.
Oh, he really in New
Where
York.
you get that poop anagram though.
Bro, that's why I had to deafen because
I'm printing. I was about to say I'm printing out this thing again. Whatever. Let's get past that. Okay, so here now, my context.
Hey, I gotta hop off, guys. I got some stuff that I gotta handle, but
Hold on. I was asking you a question.
Oh, you were?
Specifically.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Alright. Yeah. So here's my issue though.
Yeah.
My context vector isn't adding the new. Okay. This object here.
Yup, I see
Yeah.
exactly the issue. Yeah, I see.
Not
Sorry. It is a two-dimensional matrix which only has a single element inside of it, inside of the first dimension. You want it to have multiple. You want it to have the 000, the 005, the 0513, the 513, whatever the hell was the next one in the sequence, right? And you're asking me, why is it not populating it properly?
Yeah. It's
Where do-
between the
Where do
lines,
you
I
expect
think.
it to be adding? You expecting it to be adding it someplace, and
Yeah.
what? There it's supposed to be adding to context? Who is context? On line 94, if you control click on context, where is he coming from? He's coming from line 70. Scroll up. What's above line 70? I'm curious to know. Are we inside of a loop at some point in here, or are we inside of some
Yeah.
sort of? We are currently inside of a loop.
Yeah, we're in the loop on line 68.
Well, do we need to? Isn't block size on line 70? Isn't that a constant?
Block size on 70 is a constant.
Okay, so then why would we ever need to do it in a loop? Shouldn't it be one of the first things we declare right when the program starts? Line 70 altogether. Why can we not just declare that entire
yeah,
thing?
But hold on. You're
And
ready to applicationize this yet. I'm not there yet.
No. I'm not ready to applicationize it. I'm saying that this.
Move it up.
Hold on. Let me just tell you. I think that creating the context repeatedly puts you at risk for, rather than referring to the same thing that you're supposed to be, you might be referring to a new instance, which will then do something like on that you see in your output. You'll be creating new instances, each that are not properly populated or populated by the same thing. So that's why it's so important to always to declare your constants up front first. And I'm saying I would actually declare it like first thing in the application if that's the case, but that's up to you. That's up to you. If you want to put it there, because there's a potential for even on line 65 or it's line 68, you could still be within a loop for all I know. I don't know. And for that reason, why not just declare it straight up right up front that this is like the first line, end array context is equal to. You know what I mean? Like, why not just have that as a constant? But
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you can see I started some of that here, but I wasn't
Okay.
sure what needs to be temporary and what needs to not be temporary.
okay, yeah.
It's there. I can only read this one method as I go
Man,
through
you
this.
remember physics class, bro. You got to write all that shit up at the top first and foremost. Write out your knowns. And then once you have all your knowns, then you start going and experimenting.
Alright, just
But in Java, you get kind of punished for not doing that in a lot of ways.
yeah. All right, so I moved that out. We're still seeing.
We're still seeing the same thing. All right, let's scroll up. Are we still? We're still inside of a. We are inside of another loop though. We're inside of another loop. I told you we could be in another loop for all I know, right?
Set above 68? No, impossible.
Really? Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down.
The loop starts here on 70.
Oh, scroll down further. Why is it suddenly now we're in two loops?
Because as we read the words from the file.
Oh, line 70 and line
each word
76.
is gonna
Okay,
do
I'm sorry. I
something,
see.
and for each letter, we're going to do something.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
And then where are we adding? Can I see where we're doing the dot add? That you're expecting to see populated? Okay, so context.
Yeah, I'm pulling up this for you really quick. It's like a documentation on this library.
No. I don't think I need that. I'm just wondering why here this doesn't take anything that varies. There's no variable here. This is all. Do I need to know how this library works to understand this line? Because if this is where you expect to add something in, shouldn't there be some sort of variance between the previous
Yeah, well,
iteration and the
previous-
next?
I
would think it would be dependent on the letter. Like, I would think that line 93 would take some argument of a letter. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it need to have reference to a letter or reference to something that was derived from a letter? Instead, it has reference to nothing that has to do with a letter. Literally. That's why I'm so confused. What are you adding?
Hold on.
It looks like it's adding the same thing over and over, but it's not anything actually.
It should be a slice of itself.
But context is that we already decided that that was that element that was just that constant anyway. So it's just a constant that's adding to, if you look everything inside the add I argument, that's all just a constant also. There's no variance. So how could we expect something to be variable if there's no variance?
Let me just write this down so I can fully hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, something like that is basically what I was trying to
Oh.
accomplish.
Oh. Oh.
And then this,
Okay.
this you can use over and over and over,
No.
where you can just
I don't
say
know, man.
that's basically what you're looking for. This could be used to like the nth case. Right? That's what I'm trying to accomplish. But I think you just pointed out here. You made it very, very clear. I was very, very tired and
Okay.
drunk.
Okay, no problem. No problem. All right, we got somewhere with it. All right, y'all. I gotta do what I gotta do though.
All right, bro.
All right, man. You're
Thanks, bro.
welcome to stay. Well, I'm gonna give you a trial for like today and tomorrow. You can see how things go, and then if you like, I'll send you an invite for permanence. If you don't like, that's cool too.
You know, it's like, nah.
Nah, I like what you guys got going on here.
Cool, man. Cool.
Definitely.
All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
All right.
All right, see
Same
ya.
time?
Yeah,
guess.
5:30 to 6:30. I usually go to 7 though.
Okay. All right.
Every Monday, Tuesday.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace.